A brother has asked a question regarding some Hanafis who don't fast in the month of Ramadan because they are diabetic and they have to take insulin injections during fasting hours. Now remember, first of all, according to the original position of the Hanafis, injections do not invalidate the fast, irrespective of whether they are intramuscular or intravenous injections. The ruling is the same whether the substance is injected into the veins or muscles. If the injection contains nourishment or provides nutrition or medicine, in the Hanafi school, the fast will not be invalidated as long as the insulin is not directly injected into the stomach. So for example, if insulin is injected into the arms of a diabetic person, then that would not invalidate the fast of a Hanafi. So my advice to such Hanafis would be to follow the general majority position of the Hanafi school. Observe your fasts and do not be deprived of the fasting during the blessed month of Ramadan only because you have to have an injection. Remember, according to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sunan Abi Dawood, Tirmizi and Sunan An-Nasa'i, whoever breaks his one fast during the month of Ramadan without a valid excuse, لَمْ يَقْدِهِ صَوْمُ الدَّهْرِ كُلِّهِ وَإِنْ صَامَهُ, he will never be able to attain the reward of that one fast, even if that person was to fast throughout his lifetime. And according to Sayyiduna Ali karramallahu wajhul kareem, this is not only for the one who breaks the fast. Even if you miss one fast in the month of Ramadan, you can never make up for the blessings of that one fast, even if you were to fast throughout your lifetime. Obviously, you will have to make qada for the fast. That is to fulfill the obligation, but the same reward can never be attained. Undoubtedly, that would be a great loss for a true believer who understands the significance of the fast of Ramadan. So my advice to those Hanafis who have to have an injection in the month of Ramadan during the fasting hours is to continue with the fast. Injections do not invalidate the fast in the Hanafi school. Now regarding the narration of Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma in Sahih al-Bukhari, Al-fitru mimma dakhala wa laysa mimma kharaja. And the other hadith narrated by Sayyidatuna Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Innama al-iftaru mimma dakhala wa laysa mimma kharaja. The fast is invalidated by whatever enters, not what exits. Now what is meant by whatever enters into the body? There is a different understanding of the scholars of the mazahib regarding these ahadith. The Shafi'i ulama say that whatever enters from the manafiz asaliya, the natural apertures or the normal routes of entry into the digestive tract, such as the mouth or the nose, if the food or drink or the invalidating substance enters from any of the natural openings into the body, the fast will be invalidated. But if anything enters from the pores in the skin or the muscles, that will not invalidate the fast. And if the substance, the food or the medication is delivered directly into the bloodstream by being injected into the veins, regarding such intravenous injections, there are two valid positions of the Shafi'i ulama. And on both sides, they are major scholars of the Shafi'i school. A group of the Shafi'i ulama believe that intravenous injections invalidate the fast. And the other group of the Shafi'i ulama, they are of the opinion that injections into the veins, they do not invalidate the fast. And as I said, that on both sides you have major scholars of the Shafi'i school. Now some scholars say that if the injected substance does not provide nutrition and it is only given as medicine, that does not invalidate the fast. That's another position. As far as the Hanafi school is concerned, in the Hanafi school, the condition for the invalidation of the fast is that the invalidating substance must enter from one of the natural openings, the natural orifices or the original pathways into the body, such as the mouth or the nose or the eyes. And I will explain later why eyes are included in this, even though we believe that antimony, kuhul, does not break the fast. I will explain that in detail later, inshallah. Now according to the Hanafi school, these routes of entry, these manafiz, these pathways into the body, they must also be connected to the digestive tract, which is the throat, the esophagus, the stomach and the small and large intestines. The food or the drink that enters from the manafiz, from one of the natural openings of the body, must reach one of these belonging to the digestive system. So if the food or drink or any invalidating substance enters from one of the routes of entry into the body and reaches one of the organs belonging to the digestive system, only then the fast will be invalidated. And if the invalidating substance enters into the body from such an artificial opening that is not connected to the digestive system, like a drip or an injection into the arm, and the invalidating substance does not reach the digestive system, In the Hanafi school, this will not invalidate the fast. The fast will only be invalidated if the invalidating substance enters from the manafiz, from those pathways which are connected to the digestive system, such as the mouth, which is that manfaz, that natural route of entry, that natural pathway which is connected to the throat, which is part of the digestive tract. So from this we understand that these injections will not invalidate the fast. And this is explained in the Hashiyah of Ibn Abidin alayhi rahmah. It is mentioned in Raddul Muhtar. وَالْمُفْطِرُ إِنَّمَا هُوَ الدَّاخِلُ مِنَ الْمَنَافِذِ لِلْاتِّفَاقِ عَلَى أَنَّ مَنْ اغْتَسَلَ فِي مَاءٍ فَوَجَدَ بَرْدَهُ فِي بَاطِنِهِ أَنَّهُ لَا يُفْطِرُ. What invalidates the fast is only that which enters from the manafiz. وَالْمُفْطِرُ إِنَّمَا هُوَ الدَّاخِلُ مِنَ الْمَنَافِذِ. This is the Hanafi understanding of the ahadith that state that the fast is invalidated from whatever enters into the body. According to the Hanafis, the hadith doesn't mean that anything that enters from any part of the body that will invalidate the fast. Otherwise, if one rubs oil on the body, that also enters into the body from the masamat. The oil enters into the body from the pores in the skin. And it also gives energy to the body, but the application of oil unanimously does not break the fast. Similarly, you will find in the books of fiqh that the sting of a venomous snake does not break the fast. Why? Because the venom enters into the body from an unnatural, a created pathway or a route of entry into the body by the bite of the snake. Whereas the fast is only invalidated when the invalidating substance enters from one of the manafiz and reaches the organs belonging to the digestive system. So this is why, according to the principles of the Hanafi school, such injections in the arm or in the legs or the thighs or muscles or even in the veins, they do not invalidate the fast. So that's the mu'tamad, the valid, the reliable position in the Hanafi school for those of you who have to take injections on a regular basis, or a one-off injection, or those who complain that my vaccination date is booked in the month of Ramadan and I will not fast on that day. Walayyazu billah. Remember this principle, in the Hanafi school, the fast is only invalidated when the food or the drink or medication enters from the manafiz and reaches the digestive system. Now remember, if you have a choice between having an injection during the fasting hours of Ramadan and after sunset, or even to have the injection after the month of Ramadan, then in that case it would be afdal, it would be more rewarding for the Hanafi to have the injection after sunset or after the month of Ramadan. Now why is that? Because remember, for validly disputed matters, the principle is that it is mustahab, it is praiseworthy, there is a greater reward in following that position, the implementation of which fulfills the obligation according to all the ulama. So in this case, if you have the option of having the injection after sunset or after the month of Ramadan, and you delay it till after Ramadan to avoid the ikhtilaf of the ulama, your fast in this case will be accepted according to all the ulama. And there is greater taqwa in this, but that's if you have a choice. If you don't have the option, and if you are a Hanafi, then you must fast and have an injection rather than not fasting at all. Now there's another recent position of some Hanafi scholars, which has become quite famous among some Hanafis who don't fast because they have to take an injection in the month of Ramadan. They follow the position that the fast is invalidated by having an injection. Now some of these respectable Hanafi ulama, they argue that to be given medication or nutrients via injections comes under the same ruling as consuming food and drink. They claim that they see no difference between the two. Remember, when the stomach digests food, the carbohydrate in the food breaks down into glucose. And then the stomach and the intestines, they absorb the glucose. And the glucose enters into the bloodstream. Now some of these Hanafi ulama, they argue that if the same glucose is directly delivered into the bloodstream, this should also break the fast, as this ultimately gives the same result as the food entering from the mouth and going through the process of digestion. Now that's their opinion. And as I said, that this is a recent position held by some of our Sunni Hanafi scholars. And it is not the position of the majority of the traditional Hanafi scholars. Now some people misuse this position and they end up not fasting on that day of Ramadan when they have to have an injection. And they say that since the injection will invalidate our fast, therefore we will not fast now. And we will do qada, we will make up for this fast sometime after Ramadan. Now this would be a great loss for a true believer who understands the significance of the fast of the month of Ramadan. Remember, I want to make one point very clear. Obviously, we will never permit people to take an injection or a drip for nourishment or just to gain some energy. That defeats the purpose of Sawm. But if someone has a medical reason or any other valid excuse to have an injection, then that need should not deprive that person from the blessings of the fast of the month of Ramadan. Even if that Hanafi followed the opinion that injections invalidate the fast. In these circumstances, such a person should follow the original Mu'tamad position of the Hanafi school. This person should observe Sawm, this person should fast, and in this case the injection will not invalidate the fast. And out of respect for the other position, this person should do one qaza, one fast of qaza for the day he was given an injection in the month of Ramadan. And there is no expiation, there is no kafara required for this. This would be closer to taqwa for such people, rather than not fasting at all on that day of Ramadan when it is necessary for them to have an injection. And I recommend this only for those Hanafis who have adopted and accepted this as a reliable position in the Hanafi school, that their fast will be invalidated by having an injection. However, those who follow the original position of the Hanafi school, that the fast is not invalidated by drips and injections, they don't have to make qaza or kafara, because their fast is valid according to the actual majority position of the Hanafi school.